Hello again. I love seeing you. What I would like to get clear on is...
Say again, have you been in this chair before?
Yes, I have.
How does that happen?
Because I have passionate wanting.
And
desire.
And
because I'm a match to my vibration.
Because
I
expect to get in the chair.
Oh, that's exactly it.
In other words, when you desire something and you hold no resistance about it.
Right.
In other words, it is frequent that someone says, hello again, and the audience groans because it seems so unfair that Abraham would call on a person again.
Oh.
Well, of course you wouldn't, because you're in the vortex. But we're just pointing out that when you desire something and you don't hold resistance, and so your hand goes up, the room lights up where you are, and it's the most natural thing in the world. We're just giving you tips.
Okay. Good. Okay. So now that we've set that up.
We've used all your time, however.
Oh, no, don't do that to me. Okay, this is the thing. Like, I have an incredible imagination, which you know I've discussed with you before. And I'm over there. I'm talking to dead people and like you and other people. But, I'm talking to my father who died many years ago. And I'm talking to our forefathers. I'm an artist. I just did a design that they and I have been having a conversation. This deserves to be out there. But I'm not getting it here. I'm out there all the time. I'm over there having my good time with everybody and with the universe. I play with you all the time. I have so much fun with you. And I don't know why I'm having such a good time over there, but I can't bring it here.
Well, there's your expectation, isn't it? In other words, it's the reason that we wanted to put our thumb on the button of expectation. In other words, what's your expectation? You're letting your expectation be guided by your current experience. And if your current experience isn't pleasing you, but it's the drum you keep beating, why doesn't this change? 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 That's what you're saying. Why doesn't this change? Why doesn't this change? Why doesn't this change? And we say, after a little while, you figure out that's why.
You're right. For some reason, I don't have enough faith on this side of the wave.
Let's put it into another way of saying it. It isn't that you don't have enough faith, it's that you've got too much awareness of what is. In other words, you're practicing a vibration of what is, and you can't practice a vibration of what is and a vibration of improvement at the same time.
Right.
So if you are really having as much fun as you say you are,
I am.
We don't doubt that you are having as much fun. We just want to point out to you that you're spending more time practicing the vibration of standing still than you are the vibration of getting what you want. The manifestation always matches the balance of vibration. So you have to find a way to focus less on what's going on and more upon what you want. Esther was watching television the other day, and she was seeing some activists. And she laughed and said, I'm working on being a deactivist. I want to be a deactivist. And by that she means I want to deactivate in my vibration those things that aren't serving me. And it's pretty easy to do, because every time something that isn't serving you is active, you feel negative emotion. So you feel disappointed, or you feel that something's not fair, or you feel that you've got a problem. In other words, your emotions always let you know when it would be prudent for you to deactivate something. But the key is not to take the issue that you feel all agitated about and try to deactivate that issue, because attention to something that you want to deactivate just activates it. You can't look at unwanted things and say no and deactivate them, because looking at them activates them. So whether you say yes or no, you're an activist. And so you want to be an activist of thoughts that are in the vortex and a deactivist of thoughts that aren't in the vortex. So what does that tell you? You want to focus differently. You want to focus on things that feel better.
I had cancer 28 years ago, and I remember I didn't even give it a thought. I was just having fun taking all these crazy classes and doing different things, and here I am 28 years later. There wasn't a question in my mind I was going to be okay.
Well, it's good to rehash things like that when you remember some of the details of what worked for you. It really is about focusing in a way that feels better. But it's like when you say to someone who's focused on something and therefore they have something activated, when you say to them, you need to focus differently, they can't hear it and they can't even do it because law of attraction is keeping them focused there. That's why we began giving emphasis on the art of allowing. For a while we said to you, you are the creator of your own experience. And people said, oh, that felt good. It felt like some reasonable control of their experience. And so for a while people would say, I like being the creator of my experience. And then they began realizing the responsibility of being the creator of their own experience. And they began worrying about the thoughts that they were thinking. And we said, you want to be a deliberate creator. And so they wanted to deliberately think about things that felt good and deliberately not think about things that felt bad. But then people started to worry about what they were thinking about. We'd hear them say, cancel, cancel. They try to suck the thoughts back before law of attraction, law of attraction would get hold of it and bring them unwanted things. And so then we began putting emphasis on allowing, helping you to understand that it is the allowing of who you have become that really is your work. And then we began talking to you about this stream of well-being that is flowing. And now we're talking about the vortex. In other words, the thing that we want you to understand is that you are more than this physical body, but in this physical body, you are expanding into something so much more. And if you can wrap your thoughts around the absolute fact that the larger part of you is a vibrational being who is calling you, and that every negative emotion that you ever have is because you're not letting yourself be all that you have become, then this gets easy. But as long as it's, I want that thing that isn't coming and I want that thing that isn't coming, then you're off the track because you don't realize what it is that's causing the negative emotion. Okay. The negative emotion is your personally applied or personally affected separation between you and all that you have become.
Okay, so if I continue to think the way, like when I'm playing in my mind with the forefathers because of this artwork, and I've got a business now that I want to take off, and I play with them and I talk to them because I think that they put into...
Now wait, you got distracted right in the middle of a sentence where you were on your way to something that was really helpful. In other words, you started to say, all right, Abraham, so if I'm having fun,
right,
and that's as far as you need to go. If I'm having fun, no matter how it's coming about, if I'm having fun, or if I'm feeling appreciation, or if I'm feeling love, or if I'm wanting to compliment someone, or if I'm feeling in a good mood, or if I'm feeling content in this moment, if I'm feeling in the vortex feelings, then what's the end of that sentence? Then there's no resistance within my being, and being in the vortex, then the path lights up for me to have more fun. In other words, it's the need for something to manifest that isn't manifested that's keeping you out of the vortex. This is easy. If you can just hear us, get in the vortex and make a determination that you're going to get in and milk it. Get in and milk it. Get in and milk it. We promise you the vortex is going to spit you out over and over again, but get back in and milk it. Get back in and milk it. The vortex is going to spit you out over and over again, but get back in and milk it until you have so practiced the vibration of being in the vortex that that is what comes easiest to you.
Got it.
So that you're having fun regardless of what's happening. You're having fun because what's happening isn't related to your fun. Hear this. Make it unrelated. Make the money that's present unrelated to the fun you're having. Make what the neighbors think of you unrelated to the fun you're having. Make everything unrelated to the fun you're having, to the clarity you're having. Let that be your dominant priority. And as you have fun anyway, as you have clarity anyway, as you feel appreciation anyway, think back on some processes that we've offered you.
I loved your virtual
never
reality.
Stop offering processes, but think of the Book of Positive Aspects. That process will train you into the vortex. Think of a rampage of appreciation. That process will train you into the vortex. Every process that we offer is with the intent of releasing resistance. The process of going through the alphabet and just finding a good feeling, emotional in the vortex word, that will train you in the vortex. And that is all that's necessary. Really. You've done the work and you've put who you are over there, and everything you feel is about whether you're being it or not. And if you're not, well, just be it. And if you're being it, then you're not asking what's wrong, because nothing's wrong. And if you're not, just be it. It could not be simpler. You have the ability to think a better feeling thought every single time than the thought that you're currently thinking. You have the ability to focus yourself into the vortex. You do. But from what we've noticed of you, you have to figure out why you're doing it. And apparently, feeling good isn't a big enough motivation for most of you. In other words, we say, go to the vortex and feel wonderful. And you say, what'll that get me?
Do you know,
What'll it get me if I go pay the price of joy and appreciation? Then will I get my manifestations? And we say, yes, but when you make it about the manifestation, then in your awareness that the manifestation hasn't come, or that you don't know where it's going to come from, or when it's going to come, or who's going to bring it, or how it's going to get there, when you've got all those questions active, all those solutions you're blind to. So you got to quit activating all of the questions of where and when and how and who, and activate why. Activate why you feel good. Activate what feels good. Practice the vibration of feeling good, and the rest will take care of itself. It is our absolute promise to you. You have evidence of it. Look how many people have had a terminal illness, fallen in love, got distracted, and the illness goes away. And you say, ooh, that's magic. And we say, no, that's normal. When you stop the resistance that keeps the cells from having the communication that they want with well-being, when you stop doing that, your vibration raises. The cork bobs back to the surface of the water, and well-being ensues, because well-being is the order of the day. Train yourself into the vortex, and then you begin to feel the power of being in the vortex, and then it compounds itself, because the more in the vortex you are, then the more cooperative components are there. And the more cooperative components are there, the more fun you're having. And the more fun you're having, the easier it is to stay in the vortex, until now you're living that real time. You're in the vortex with the slight contrast that is there, thinking of things that you want, finding the answers to them. And that's the way you intended to live life. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and torture myself into expansion. Not one of you said that. You said, I'll go forth and I'll sift and sort, and I'll decide and I'll define, and I will use the clarity of my mind. But most of all, you said, I will pay attention to the guidance system that I was born with, and I will know in every moment when a thought is off. And when it's off, I'll reach for one that's on.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Perfect. Thank you.